Cymru of the Brithon Britons, open arm flagged up and proud. The Welsh warrior was his of Strathclyde, awakening
the light of fuel for the future. Let it burn inside for your self-improvement. Abertawe's William R. Grove, 1811 to 1896. Grove invented the Grove voltaic cell in 1839. Without them, Moritz Hermann von Jacobi would not have been able to power the world's first outboard electric motor. Grove invented domestic lighting in 1840. This was the ancestor of the modern bulb. In 1841, he became the first professor of experimental philosophy at the London Institution. In 1842, he invented the now world-famous fuel cell. NASA, in fact, used it in the Gemini spacecraft missions from 1965 onwards. Fuel cells represent the new generation of high-efficiency, environmentally friendly energy systems. In 1842, Grove was the first person to demonstrate the thermal dissociation of molecules into their constituent atoms. And in fact, it was he who first propounded the first law of thermodynamics, we know as the theory of the conservation of energy, back in 1846. I hope I have inspired you, aspiring Cymros. A future's forgotten female leader. Why? Abercynon's Florence G. Rees, 1906 to 1994. Gwen was a scientist of zoology and parasitology. During her time as a staff member of the University College of Wales, Aberystwyth, Rees supervised 215 honour graduates and 25 postgraduate students. She was a founder member of the British Society for Parasitology and in fact served as its vice president and also then on to president. She was elected a fellow of the Institute of Biology and made further history as the first Welsh woman to become fellow of the Royal Society in 1971. This lady also featured in a 1975 Vogue magazine article on influential and interesting British women. Forget us not. Mathematics is your key to independence. Llangavelach's Mathematicians of Cymru, book cover design example, 2023. This is the very first book of its kind presenting the history of Welsh mathematicians throughout history. It represents short and snappy knowledge on 40 practitioners of mathematics, together with pioneering illustrated portraits of these uncelebrated pioneers in Welsh history. It contains each pioneer's quotes, Cymru's inspiring quotes, an inspiring socially empowering poem, plus each one's pioneering mathematical equation. It is the first book to be innovatively designed and written to inspire socially enlightened Welsh citizenship standards for the young of Cymru. It was conceived, like all Ab Cymru's projects, for the children of Cymru, those under 16 years of age. It is innovatively designed with love, care and creativity, making it not just a book, but a work of art. I hope I can make mathematics more warming and welcoming to you, Welsh students. The name is X-rated Mortality Morgan, actuary. Castellnewydd's William Morgan, 1750 to 1833. Morgan was trained as a doctor and surgeon and earmarked for an outstanding surgical career. His brilliant uncle, Dr. Richard Price, 1723 to 1791, of Llangaina, asked him a question. Billy, do you know anything about mathematics? No, he replied, but I can try. Incredibly, he became a mathematician of life insurance via actual science. He then went on to become the world's first actuary and is now seen as the father of actuarial science. I hope I have enlightened you with this remarkable example of career changes in history. Pioneering faces of the past for the children of Cymru. Peel's Icons of Cymru, Nadolig Llawyn Cards, 2023. The first cards of their kind in Welsh cultural life, remembrance, respect, and the honouring Cymrais are Cymru's pioneering faces of the past for the children of Cymru. Peel's Icons of Cymru, Nadolig Llawyn Cards, 2023. The cards are the first of their kind in Welsh cultural life. Remembrance, respect, and the honouring of Cymrais are Cymru's from the mists of the past at Xmas time. Welsh inventors John Curran, Bill Frost, Priest Jones, W.R. Grove, Richard Roberts and William Morgan. Welsh scientists Gwen Rhys, Dr. John Dee, Alfred Russel Wallace, Evan J. Williams, David E. Hughes, D.W. Davis. Welsh women Grace M. Williams, Dilys E. Edwards, Margaret Thomas, Mary Quant, Augusta Hall, Morfydd L. Owen, fashion designers, composers and cultural educators. I hope you can utilise these pioneering achievers to become role models of Cymru. Young Cymrais are Cymru's. Find your visionary voices to liberate your voice. Caerdydd's Word Up magazine, 1992. First conceived by Cardiff City Centre Youth Project, headed by Marco Gil, Spanish Cardiffian. I joined loving the founding values of empathy and care for the young, a magazine birthed for the young of Cardiff and Cymru. I involved Cymru comprehensive art students to design front covers. It was an expressive and important creative platform for 16 to 24-year-olds. App Cymru designed this culturally creative arts magazine. I hope I have inspired you to publish a Welsh cultural magazine, Cymru's a Cymrais. The Chwarae universe, a furnace burning light for an utopian world. Idri Newydd's Robert Owen, 1771 to 1858. Owen was the founder, pioneer of personal management, a pioneer of free world education, the founder of human resource management, that is HR to you and I. He was, of course, the father of British socialism, a founder of utopian socialism, and in fact conceived the world's first infant school. He also instigated the world's first creche for working mothers. A beautiful and brilliant human being, Owen was the father of the worldwide cooperative movement. I hope I have given you a vision for a more empowered and enlightened Cymru. Parting the waves, pick deep scorching memories to remembrance. Aberdare's Margaret H. Thomas, 1883 to 1958. Margaret was a very successful businesswoman and a pioneer suffragette movement. In a famous test case, she petitioned in 1920 for the right to receive a writ of summons to Parliament, basing her claim on the Sex Disqualification, that is Removal Act of 1919, which stated that a woman shall not be disqualified by sex or marriage from the exercise of any public function. In 1920, she set up the feminist weekly journal Time and Tide, covering politics, economics, social issues, literature and the arts. In 1921, she launched the 6-Point Group, which campaigned on 6 key issues for women, including equal pay and equal opportunities. Then in 1926, with others, she set up the Open Door Council to campaign against protective legislation for women. I hope, Cymru, you can follow Lady Rhondda's lead. Dignity is independence. Independence is dignity. Llangavelach's The Welsh Freedom Song, Cymru Liberty, 2004. Neil Ap Cymru, author, creative director, inspirer, singer, songwriter, and Cymru's first cosmopolite culturalist educator. In 2000 he came back on a mission. He came back to the land of his mothers and fathers. He called for a new, accountable, educational, cultural and moral Cymru. He called therefore for new citizenship standards of excellence. He therefore wished to inspire a new generation of consciously accountable Cymros a Cymrais, to wake up the sleeping giants of all small world nations, to dignify the children and the young to independence. I hope to further inspire all you Welsh creatives to write, sing, design and diplomatically fight for independence and Annibyniaeth. Welsh genes of genius evolving. Powys's Charles Darwin, 1883 to 1958. Darwin is known as the father of evolutionary biology. Yes, the Darwin family believed they were of Welsh descent and descended from Bleddyn ap Cynfyn, who died 1075, a king of Cymru. Remember also that the Welsh Derwenydd came from Derwin, which translates as an oak. Cynan's virtues were those of the ideal prince: clemency, kindness, affability, liberty to the weak and defenceless, respect for the rights of the church. He was one of the few princes who appears as having made amendments in the laws of Hywel Dda, Hywel the Good. Was Darwin really English, brothers and sisters? I hope that you try to become the best Cymro a Cymrais, that you keep striving for betterment and evolve into becoming an ambassador of Cymru. Remembrance, respect, celebration to role models for Cymru. Penabon's William Morgan Day. I believe every forgotten, buried, unknown and therefore uncelebrated Welsh achiever ought to be remembered. Societies, clubs in each village, town and cities ought honour the forgotten. I spearheaded the need and implementation of plaques to our many heroes and achievers in the year 2000. I sent letters to all the county councils in Cymru. No acknowledgements and never any credit. Importantly, it was 110 years before Röntgen that William Morgan, was the first person to produce X-rays. Let us therefore rewrite history and gain dignity by remembering and celebrating our forgotten sons and daughters of Cymru. I hope I have inspired you to create a Welsh cultural event or a creative festival. Icons of Abertawe, ambassadors for today, please. Hafod's Great of Swansea book cover, 2024. The Lost Book of Cymru, Swansea's old library, and a computer mouse shoots across the screen. 400 pages of inspiring Swansea achievers lost, buried in the Ethernet. It was birthed for the young of Cymru to inspire role models and ambassadors. They recovered less than half the book text. Mind trauma ensued. I opened the disc 20 years later. Nothing but gibberish and indecipherable text. The ghost of the lost book of Swansea heroes haunting my soul. I hope I can make you forgive those who do or have done you wrong. To err is human, to forgive divine. Welsh standards for social citizenship before independence. Abertawe's icons of Cymru, Cymric ambassadors, become inspired, 2000. Socially empowering and educationally advanced banners, Greats of Swansea. Respect all nations. Bring not shame on your nation. Respect yourself and hurt no one. Together we can eradicate racism. Hate not and respect all. I hope I have inspired you to become a conscientiously accountable role model. You are the future. Then become role models. Caerdydd to think of annibyniaeth, to think of freedom. 1994 to the year 2000. Deep, concentrated thought in London. A 5-year plan for the young of Cymru was birthed. The return of a son of Cymru to do good, to make important cultural changes, to engage, befriend and therefore work with the brains of Wales. All doors were firmly closed. A hunger strike for the future of the young of Cymru was pursued. 34 days later, Morgan slammed the phone down on this patriot of Cymru. Slowly, Cymru awoke. Welsh not. Cymru yes. Then the Yes Cymru movement was birthed. Independence is dignity. Dignity is independence. Evolution, it is a Welsh thing. Brynbygyr's Alfred R. Wallace, 1823 to 1913. An expert on anthropology, astronomy, botany, politics, and psychology and zoology, etc. Wallace was one of the most notable scientists of the 19th century. In fact, the father of biological species concept. He proposed what is known as the Wallace effect. Sexual selection was first discovered through Wallace's good genes argument, not by Darwin. He was again a pioneer of statistical epidemiology. He was indeed, of course, father of the theory of evolution via natural selection before Darwin, and is now seen as the father of the science of biogeography. I hope you have gained accountable knowledge to become more inspired for your future's journey. A greater voice for a universal brother and sisterhood. Carnarvon's Jean Rhys, 1890 to 1979. Jean was a world Welsh author born in the Caribbean island of Dominica. She was born Ella Gwendolyn Rhys Williams. Her father, William Rhys Williams, was a Welsh doctor from Carnarvon. Her most successful novel was Wild Sargasso Sea. Her most successful novel was Wild Sargasso Sea. The book won the W.H. Smith Literary Award in 1967. It was named by the Time magazine as one of the 100 best English language novels since 1923. It was included on the Big Jubilee Read list of 70 books by Commonwealth authors. It was also selected to celebrate the Platinum Jubilee of Elizabeth II in the year 2022. Rhys Williams was one of the greatest writers of the 20th century. I hope I have inspired the world Welsh to come together and work as one in order to enrich this world. The flight of Bowenite sight to freedom. Cockhead's Edward G. Bowen, 1911 to 1991. He was a pioneering scientist in the development of radar, radio astronomy, radio navigation, and experimental cloud physics. During World War II, Bowen was pivotal in achieving cooperation between academic, industrial, and governmental organizations of the United States and the United Kingdom. He developed the high-powered pulse transmitter for the radars, which enabled the building of a coastal radar. He developed the high-powered pulse transmitter for the radar, which enabled the building of a coastal radar network that was vital to winning the Battle of Britain. He advised scientific, industrial, and governmental leaders on military radar in America in World War II, and importantly, he went on to become the father of Australian radio astronomy. Bowen was actually working in the control room when his brainchild, the Parkes Observatory, was used to help stream the Apollo 2 moon landing to TVs around the world on the 20th of July in the year 1969. He is now honoured as the father of airborne radar. I hope I have given you a vision for your future to reach for the stars and become a socially empowered world citizen. It is important to remind you that independence without accountable cultural and social knowledge is a fool's paradise. Empower and dignify yourselves with the forgotten Welsh role models of yesteryear.
Great Cymru, great Welshman, only do Cymru free. St. Kenty, Girls, Glasgow, Welsh founding father, ye deep scorching, smouldering and pillar high. Shackled, chain and chaining and chained, and soon, soon, soon to be free. Great Wales, great Cymru, William Wallace, Welshman free. Great Cymru, great Welshman, oh England do Cymru free. New awakenings furnished in their land, lines of operation unreloaded in time. Phalanx arms and limbs are charging on, defending, subduing to help the skelter high. Great Wales, great Cymru, William Wallace, Welshman free. Great Cymru, great Welshman, oh England do Cymru free. Liberty soldier bore a co-owned Glyndŵr, blooding their imperial barbed crown. The enemies raised and forlorn attacks, subdued, submerged, softly underground. Great Wales, great Cymru, William Wallace, Welshman free. Great Cymru, great Welshman, oh England do Cymru free. Land of the Britton Welsh Cymros, Welsh Wallist and Glyndŵr grounded. Wizard warrior can be freedom fighters, scorching, scouring and projectors Cymros. To Welsh freedom and Cymru liberty. 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 Great Wales, great Cymru, William Wallace, Welshman free. Great Cymru, great Welshman, oh England do Cymru free. Great Wales, great Cymru, William Wallace, Welshman free. Great Cymru, great Welshman, oh England do Cymru free. Great Wales, great Cymru, William Wallace, Welshman free. Great Cymru, great Welshman, oh England do Cymru free. Great Wales, great Cymru, William Wallace, Welshman free. Great Cymru, great Welshman, oh England do Cymru free. To Welsh freedom and Cymru liberty. 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 To Welsh to freedom and come with liberty. Welsh freedom and come with liberty. To Welsh freedom and come with liberty. To Welsh freedom and come with liberty. To Welsh freedom and come